the betting, the not so much anymore, is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.
Race number 6, the Pink Drive Michaelmas Handicap, 1900 meters the trip. This is the race on the day, 15:35, the off time for the 6th race on the program. And we've got some very, very nice horses that are stepping out, and some having their prep rounds for the season, and some we're looking to confirm their progress. Let's get into it. Let's have a look at Adabar when winning last time out, and then interviews with Byron Foster, MJ Orendal, and Nicolette Roscoe.
Lead as they come to the 300-meter marker. Back in second is El Ravi and New Stream, Shoefella and Paris Pike. As they come down to the 200, the Adabar's on the inside. Pirate Prince is a big runner on the outside. It's Adabar, the leader, past the 100. El Ravi and Pirate Prince on the outside. Adabar's won it though. Pirate Prince second, El Ravi and Release Me.
Yeah, he's... The script is written. Let's see where it goes. It's the pink day. It's the toughest opposition he's taking on. He's just he's a horse that worries you, because he really doesn't. Like this morning, I scratched my head because he doesn't really put it in work. You know, he just does enough. But I clearly remember when he won his maidens by quite a margin. I spoke to Nick on the Monday, and he said to me, "Ali, can't believe the horse won that well after fairly moderate work on the Friday," and that's him. You know, he's not a horse that shows a lot at home, but when he steps onto the racetrack, he's a very, very smart individual. Obviously, with the sale for Bahrain, with our export protocols, I had a timeline. I'm not going to meet it, so for now, he's definitely going to stay here, and. Yeah, I think he's a top horse. If you know, as I say, he's not a horse that works very well, but I know him very well. But I take bloods on him and everything just to make sure everything is good, because he doesn't show it in work, but he certainly brings it to the racetrack.
Airways Law, yeah. Look, if you struggled through the season with him, probably optimistic that he's just starting to look like his old self again. He's nice and fresh, and he's got a good attitude at the track. Obviously, would have liked to prep run into a feature, but also the way the program's mapped out for him. And we have given him two good gallops. He had a nice extended gallop, which he seems to have come on from. So he's in a good space, and we're just hoping the old Airways turns up. Cape Eagle, yeah, he had a fantastic winter season, probably a little bit above our expectations. He enjoyed a good break now, and he's come back nice and fresh. Also would have liked a prep run into the race, but he unfortunately drew quite badly in a Pinnacle 14, so we thought we'd rather give him the gallop, and also a nice extended gallop. But it's brought him on nicely, and look, he's run behind some nice horses, and he's featured well against them. If he can reproduce that sort of run, one of those sort of runs, he's definitely in with the shout. Obviously, there's some unexposed horses at this level, so it's whether they can match up to his standard. We'll see, but yeah, if he can get things his own way, and he should be running another honest sort of race.
Yeah, he had a comeback run over a 14, which is miles too short for him. About 12 days ago, 2 weeks ago, he needed the run quite badly. I actually thought he would have run a little bit closer than what he did, but yeah, it was a little bit in the mud. He's come on from that run, so yeah, competitive field. It is still short of his best, but he definitely should be running on in the money.
Well, race number 6, the market has got Cape Eagle at the top, 22-10. Adabar 7-2 into 33-10. 5-1 about Q-Wing, 7-1 Royal Victory. Pirate Prince, 8-1 about Airways Law, 14-1 and better bar those. Now, this contest, it's a race that I'm looking forward to on the day. Cape Eagle sets a very high standard in this race. He's run behind the Hollywoodbets Durbanville winner Winchester Mansion in the Cup trial. In receipt of a kg, beaten 5.5 lengths, cracking performance, top class effort. And he's no doubt the horse that they all have to set their sights on here. He had, as you heard from Byron, he had a fantastic winter season. He's a 6-time winner from 16 outings. He's such a game sort, and he's a horse that went on a roll during the season last. and he loves Hollywoodbets Greyville, so he'll be a real threat here with 58.5 kgs on the back. Number 3, Airways Law. Obviously, lack of races there for this. He hasn't really been able to step out when you have a horse with such a high rate, and it's hard to find races for them during the off-season time, and he's got a mark of 105. He's come down in the racing from that mark of 1:1:12, which he achieved by running 6th in the Hollywoodbets Durbanville July a couple of years ago behind Sparkling Water. He's the only horse to be tested at that kind of level, so he's obviously the most tested and probably the most proven horse in this contest. If he returns to the All Airways that we saw prior to him getting into the Hollywoodbets Durbanville July, then I think it's quite simple. He'll win this race quite easily. But whether he's going to be able to pitch up, he's obviously been set back by a few niggles that he's had. He was taken down to the Cape after that Hollywoodbets Durbanville July run, and he just never really found his feet after that. 2 runs rather down in the Cape, and then he returned here, didn't really put it in. And then his last 2 starts, even though he's been beaten 6th and then 3rd, he has shown a bit more that he's coming back to himself, and it's good to hear that maybe he does look to be the All Airways that he was a year or a year and a half ago. So he's a horse that we've obviously got to have healthy respect for. I'm hoping that he can bounce back to his best. He's a horse that has got lots of ability. He doesn't show it back at home, but when he does bring it to the racetrack, he's a real threat. At 8-1, he's definitely going to go into all bets. Cape Eagle, strong hand from the yard, big runner. Then the horse that is unexposed, he's on the up. He's starting to catch the imagination of punters, of players, of followers. Adabar is his name. Now, he's a 3-time winner from 7 outings. His last 2 wins have been very, very encouraging because his penultimate start, he just fought them off gamely, and it was a win full of heart, full of merit, a gutsy performance. And then last time out, Calvin Abib just never really seemed to have to ask him anything. He just did it on his own. It was a comfortable win, effortless. Drawn in gate number 1, he's gone up 8 points for that victory, but I think what helps him is that he comes into the race with 52.5, and he comes into the race with that weight, obviously because of the likes of Royal Victory, Airways Law and Cape Eagle running in this contest. If they weren't here, you'd probably see him carrying slightly more weight, even Sunblush. So he's a horse that's got bottom weight, close to bottom weight at least, of 52.5. He's a front runner. It's going to be interesting because whether he's going to be able to get to the lead for free. Cape Eagle likes to go forward, and Cape Eagle is a deadly front runner. So I'm hoping that they don't cut each other's throats. If they go a decent gallop, well, then it's going to suit horses that like to be given a chance, the likes of Q-Wing and Airways Law. But Adabar, he's obviously on the up. He's a horse that's bringing it to the racetrack, and you'd much rather have a horse that shows you nothing at home but shows you the world on the racetrack, and he seems to be that horse. So pole position draw, Sereno Moodley aboard. Interesting that Sereno obviously takes a ride and Calvin Abib rides Royal Victory. Calvin's riding at, in front of the computer form it says 53.5, but I see he's riding at 53. He rides at 53 on his normal weight, and his lowest ride of 53.5. So maybe couldn't get down to the weight of 52.5. Therefore, Sereno gets a ride on Adabar. But whatever the case may be, he's a massive runner, Adabar. I think Royal Victory, he's going to have his work cut out. 61.5 kgs. Question marks over the distance. I'm not convinced that he gets 1900 meters. He's run in the SA Classic over 1800 meters. He just seemed to be staying on rather than finishing off his race. So a trip, question mark, having to concede so much of weight, that's obviously not going to be beneficial to him. And then Q-Wing, such a versatile sort. Richard Free rides for Garthbuller. He's a horse that his last start wasn't his greatest effort. His penultimate start, although caught the eye, last time out 3 lengths off them, he could certainly get involved in the fight. So it's a nice race. Adabar, let's see how he goes. But there's certainly opposition, and I think the top selection has got to be number 4, Cape Eagle, just on what he produced during the winter season last. And I think he's a horse that hopefully he manages to win quite a few nice races this campaign. Airways Law and then Adabar, horses that, although I think those 3 horses could likely fight out the finish in this contest. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Adabar goes as he looks to go on and win a few nice races for the connections.
It's Donovan Everett from Cape Racing, and I'd just like to say it's an absolute pleasure to be involved with Intrabet and Cape Breeders in this golf day today here at Pearl Valley. It's fantastic for the industry to see all the relevant stakeholders coming down and having a good time and networking, and it's exactly what the industry needs right now in terms of moving forward and recreating some positivity to take us forward into the next year.